Hey everyone. So yeah, we are the Nightwalkers, and I guess we'll all be taking part in presenting our final demo. And I think to start off, we want to show our badges and the build history, so everything's checking. And yeah, let's get started. So as you all know, we've designed a progressive web app to help New Yorkers find safer walking routes. And I think before we start off, it might be helpful to kind of touch over the motivation behind our project. So I guess the idea originally came from our experiences living in, I guess, really walkable cities. We've all been living in New York for at least a couple months, and we have these great apps like Google Maps, which are really good and show you the fastest routes with a lot of helpful features like live transit time and bike lanes. But what they really don't tell you is whether a route actually feels safe. And we felt that this was really important at night. So as a team, we started looking into this across Reddit and other community forums, and we saw a really similar pattern. Many people, like students, us, like night shift workers, and vulnerable groups, were actively seeking safer routes and trying to avoid high crime areas. And that insight kind of became the foundation for Nightwalkers. So before I pass it off to Nalini to walk through the MVP and MLP breakdown of our core features, I'll quickly want to show everyone how we, I guess, initially envisioned the system to work at a high level with our initial context diagram. So kind of at center, we envisioned users being able to do actions like generating routes, viewing our safety heat map, and reporting issues. And then on the back end, we combined NYPD crime data with user submitted feedback to kind of score areas to generate these safer routes. And finally, I guess we have admins who can help moderate reports and maintain the platform quality. So I guess overall, this architecture kind of sets the stage. And now I'll pass it off to Nalini, who will walk us through how we translated this initial plan into a more focused MVP and MLP and what we prioritize to bring Nightwalkers to life.
Thanks, Alan. So starting with the MLP, the MVP, we aggregated across our initial proposal, our detailed proposal, and our high-level analysis, as well as feedback throughout class. And you can see the features and then the final deliverable on the right. Um, for user authentication, in addition to what we outlined from like a Django perspective, we also added Google authentication on top of that. For the safety and cleanliness heat map, we decided to focus more on the safety data and not the cleanliness data like we had brainstormed initially, as well as the date and time filters, just to focus on some other features that we found to be higher priority as we were building out the app. Um, for the optimal route based on the heat map, we also brainstormed like blocking preference areas, which we also decided to deprioritize, but we still have the standard and safe route in our final deliverable. And then for the responsive web application, we have a format that works on both mobile and desktop devices with some modifications where needed. For reporting issues internally, we have a report a bug feature in the settings tab, as shown prior. And then for a forum to report issues in the route, we have a full forum that was developed by Triage that has the image and liking capabilities as well as emojis throughout. And then finally, one item that was recommended by one of our classmates was adding resources and reporting methods for users. So we also added that to the forum section in our desktop. And that was commented during the MVP part of our detailed proposal, which is why we put it in the MVP section. So going to MLP, we have a fewer features here. So initially we brainstormed adding karma to our reporting methods. So we assigned this based on the forum, post, repost. We also discussed tracking the user on the route, which we have done through the current location functionality, and then pop-up instructions over text, which we have in that scroll down set of instructions. Two things that we deprioritized since initially we were thinking about maybe doing more of a mobile application. And for this class, we're doing a web application, are voiceover instructions and alerting for issues on an active route, given that often, especially when you're on your laptop, the GPS isn't as accurate. So that's the rationale there. Um, however, as we started to build this out, we also added new features, which are on the next slide that weren't in our MLP or MVP, but I guess can also be thought of as part of our MLP plus. So one of those was reporting on the route, which we added via our route functionality just to add some additional data. And this was something that was outlined in the high level analysis, but not in the pieces prior. We also, at one point in the initial proposal, discussed having messaging features. Initially, we were worried from a user perspective if there might be safety concerns there, but given how we set it up, requiring a mutual following, we decided that that was less of a concern and implemented instant messaging as well as editing and deleting messaging within that IM platform. And then finally, we added a moderator functionality, which was sort of recommended after that detailed proposal with the MVP MLP split. So that's why we put that here as well. And we have this built out as well as a hidden post functionality just to automate some of those pieces as well as from a Karma perspective. And then we have two pieces in the icebox that we decided not to touch and figure these pieces. The first was safety verification, which would be where someone would take a picture of themselves and then uh, we could have some comparison to like a passport photo, for example. That just felt unnecessary given the web application piece and the matching functionality, which we then decided was covered with the messaging feature. And that covers all of the pieces that were in those three proposals at a high level. And with that, I will pass it off to Alex for our demo.
Thank you, Nalini. Let me share my screen. So then, as Alan mentioned, some of the motivation for this development of the application was safety and some of the stuff that Google does not offer or any of the mapping applications. So as an NYU user, I come across this website and I just want to check some of the features. That is what some of the things implemented in our landing page. We implement some of the screenshots that of our site. We implement some of the features that we have, and also some frequently asked questions that we thought might be useful for users. But then everything is behind as a user, everything is behind logins just to keep everything like the data tracked and everything. But as a new user, let's say if I just found out this website, I can create an account. This was demo previously. But you could also sign up with your Google account and stuff like that. One of the functionalities that's mentioned was including a social authentication, in this case with Google. So I can use a Google authentication to basically log in. And as an established user, I can have some of the saved routes already accessible at a home page. And so then one of the main features basically would be investigating the map. And as you can see right now, this is loaded to Tandem. But let's say that I want to use my current location and I want to walk to, let's say, the tow pound in Brooklyn. So I can just search that and it should give me the results. And then I can create a new route. And also, as you can see at the bottom, we have a collapsible menu, basically kind of given the idea of giving the user the way to inspect the heat map, which was one of our main features, sort of like divided into two areas that I believe is intuitive, with the yellow dots like sort of like the low crime areas and the high crime areas in red, and the algorithm sort of avoiding the high crime areas, which is one of the features that we wanted to implement instead of avoiding every single point, which will become overwhelming and kind of not functional. So I can inspect the time that it would take me to walk there based on either route. As you can see, it's just a 1 minute difference, but the longer routes they become, the time difference will be longer. And So I can also check the turn-by-turn instructions. As you can see, each one of them has a estimate time, how much it would take to kind of walk that distance. And let's say I can save also this route if I really, this is a common and I want this on the homepage when I log in. I would like to save this. So I can say save this for demo. And I can save this route. I can mark it as a favorite if I like. And then this route will be saved. Let's say one of the things that I would like to do is create a report. And for this, let me just basically go to a different location. Let me just refresh and then select a different location. And then this should take me to the location that I am right now. As you can see, this is a remote location with no closer points around. And let's say that for the first time I'm witnessing something and I would like to create a report. And I can do this. Report on demo day. And I can put any text that will be useful. And as you can see for both, as you can see later for reports and this safety report, we're kind of forcing users to give to a minimum of characters to avoid spamming. And we also kind of implement a new feature to kind of give the user the comfort of the address being correct. So then let's say I create a report, I witness that, and then will be submitted. So then let's say one of the things that I want to check, I can check my profile. Let's say I decided to change my profile as demo previously. This is a Google account, therefore it's not managed by us. And on a regular account, these details would be editable, like demo, like 2 demos ago. These details will be manageable by the user if it's not a Google account, and this comes down to I can create a report. I also have the same options per page on the side. So then I can create a report on app doing demo. And again, it just forces us to, it forces me to kind of create a minimum character, and then I can submit that report. So then let's say that I want to check my different settings. So we were just in the account. I want to check my report history. So then there you go, report during demo with a random text, collapsible to kind of make it less overwhelming. I can also check my safety reports, and you can see the report on demo day, and I can see my previous reports, and this will come later on to sort of show, but a report can be rejected, but a user will be given, of course, and it can be pending when it's first submitted, like it is here, or I see that one has been approved. I can also use the status to filter this, and let's just filter them by approved, and this should work, and then I can just clear, or if new is first, and then all this first. This all sort of gives me an easier way to access reports when as I create more. Then I can see my routes. I want to modify some of my routes. So what the first route that I just saved, I sort of don't want it to be a favorite anymore, or I can. But then I can also I can use a route that I was using before, and then this would take me back to the map. And with the routes saved on top, and just basically I can just click on it, and then it would create the route for me. So I can also check some of my forum history. This will be shown later, but this is basically connected to the forum directly to sort of access my own history of forums. And so that would be for the site. And then for the admin, some of the things that we wanted to do is moderate, as mentioned before. And here's where we kind of see all the list of users with all their features that we wanted to implement that will make it easy for an admin to sort of identify a user. I can see like the follower, the following, the saved routes. I can see the karma that they have and stuff like that. And let's say that I just want to access one user. I can just select on their email. I can modify some of the aspects of their account. I can ban them or not. I can see the different people that they're following, the followers, and we're all implementing this as a Django admin, which when it came to implementation, realized that it was really powerful to do this. And then I can see the report on app, the report issues made on the report app, and you can see the report during demos here, and then developers can investigate this. The content is here. Similar account there. This is sort of like showing followers. This can be chats, messages, comments, and the posts. This will be demoed by Yash later on, but we can moderate the posts and so on and so forth when it comes to this. Let's say posts. Um, Once this loads, and there we go. So we try to make it intuitive for ourselves even. But then one of the main features for the map being dynamic with the heat map is basically the report. And then let's say that this is the report on demo day that I just made. I can investigate this. This is where some of the input from other users will be useful if in case we want to integrate it later for like a count where users validate or not. But so far, let's say that I just want to reject it and I just want to submit it like that. It would not let me. As shown before, this has to give me a reason to do it. Let's say that I just reject it like that, and then it will reject. Okay, and then comes the real fun part, which is kind of approving this. I can approve this report, and then this report will changed, and then now it is approved. And as in the heat map, as mentioned before, where's my location? I should be dragged down here. I basically don't have any points close to me. So then now that the report has been approved, I can sort of clear this and check the new data is loading. And I can see that my point has successfully been submitted and it has been approved. And now a hit point has been added. And if it was closer to another point, it is harder to demo just because we would have to find data that is necessary. The reports would sort of like aggregate to the closest one within 100 meters and would basically turn some of the yellow points into red points. And that's basically how this would work with community-based safety. And lastly, as mentioned, what some of the users can be banned. So this was one of the test accounts that was banned during one of our previous demo, and this is basically how users will be banned based on the guidelines that we want to have and we deem appropriate. And with that, I will pass it down to Yash to demo the second piece, which would be the forum and the messages.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Let me
Quick
share my
time
screen.
check. Quick time check. We got a few minutes left.
Okay, yeah. Is my screen visible? Yeah. Okay. So suppose I was coming home from college yesterday, and I found some abnormal activity. And in this situation, we have to make sure that we don't interact, and we have to be safe. And I want to share that my personal experience with others. So for that, I can use this forum section. Here I can see all the posts made by other user, any content which can be helpful. So I can just click on start post and create a post. I can add, there's a character limit. I can add up to 500 characters. So I'll just type random, and we can also select images. So, and then just click post and it will create a new post. And when other people, if they found it useful, they can follow you, they can like on the post, they can like react on the post. We have different reactions. They can comment on the post and share about their experiences, and even if we can repost the post so the post get more visibility. And if someone posts uh, something wrong, we can then simply report them. And all this activity we count via karma feature. So if you create something, create a post, you get plus 10 karma. If someone reports your post, your karma get reduced by some points. So here we can see that Damon has -1 karma. That's why we are not showing his post right now. So you have to click on the show content to see the post. Then once you connect with the user, when you follow each other, you can use the chat feature to communicate further. So it's loading. So it's similar to how WhatsApp works. We can see if the user is online or not. So right now my other account is online, so I can see the user is online. And there is also, if I start typing on my other account, I can see it says typing. And if I just send the message, the message gets send immediately. Also, there is an option similar, like if the user has seen the message or not, we can also check that. And we are also using push notifications for this. So if I'm not on a chat page and someone sends me a message, yeah, so I can see someone has sent me a message. So we are using push notifications. And so because we are using the push notifications, even if the application is not open, and if we are on the other tab on the Chrome, we are able to get the notification on the Chrome. So with that, I'll pass it to Damon. Yeah.
Hey guys, we're close to out of time, so I'm just gonna bring us home and just shorten up our lessons learned. So essentially, there's like a method to the madness. I had a whole long spiel about underestimating Scrum, but Scrum is really important. And working as a team, there comes its complications with tripping over one another. Got to be flexible. Um, I really want to bring us home strong, so I'll just finish it there on time.
Thank you very